Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome you all to this featured SGS webinar. Today we'll be reviewing the SGS prestigious annual awards and the importance of recognizing good works. This presentation will include an overview of SGS Awards, our different student competitions and scholarships, and include information about how to apply and nominate for awards and the value of being honored as an awardee. My guests today include Dr. Jen Kraft-Morgan, Dr. Kyle Bauer, Dr. Lavana Trawick, Dr. Christy Jensen, Debbie Yoder, and other important members of our awards committee. With that being said, I'd like to just point you to the direction of the bottom link on this first slide where you may access our website for additional information should you need it. And this webinar will be posted on our SGS video resources page when it is complete. Thank you for joining us.
So the first of our awards is that we're going to talk about today is the Gretz Awards. These are the Gerontologists Rooted in the South Awards. These awards seek to maintain and stimulate interest in the history of SGS and perpetuate the legacy of past and present members, including the recognition of their achievements in the field of gerontology, their contributions to enhancing the lives of elders in the SGS region, and their service as role models for future generations interested in advancement of knowledge and practice in the field of aging. Really, these are our Hall of Fame winners, our legacy, our late career awards, where we honor people who have made significant and lasting contributions to SGS. And so we would love to receive nominations for this award. We usually give 3, sometimes we've had as many as 5 Gretz awardees in a given year, and posthumous awards are also welcome. So if there's somebody who you know to be a founder of SGS that has not yet been recognized, or somebody who was really important in the field in the South and is part of SGS, we'd love to get their name and make sure that we have a great slate of Gretz awardees for this year and coming years. And these are some of our Hall of Fame winners. You do not have to be as famous as Rosalind Carter to win the Gretz Award, but she is probably our most famous member of our Gretz Hall of Fame.
The next 3 awards are distinguished awards for individuals. The first one I'd like to tell you about is the Gordon F. Stribe Distinguished Academic Gerontologist Award. The Gordon F. Stribe Distinguished Academic Gerontologist Award is named after a true pioneer of social gerontology and a distinguished charter member of SGS. In public recognition of his achievements, at the 2004 SGS annual meeting, Dr. Stribe was presented with a special board proclamation designating him as the person for whom the Distinguished Academic Gerontologist Award is now named. This award is given to SGS members who have shown excellence in leadership within SGS, as well as contributions to other professional organizations and organizations which serve older adults. The recipient must demonstrate a strong record of scholarly publications, have significant teaching influence with students, and/or training of service providers or educators. This award can be given to both an academic as well as a practitioner, as long as they're members of SGS. The next award is the Applied Gerontologist Award. This award is given to SGS members who have demonstrated the mission of SGS by bridging research to practice. In other words, they have applied gerontology in the South. Award winners have a sustained record of leadership in the field of aging, are recognized in their fields, and generally have positively impacted the quality of life of older adults through developing innovative programs such as applications of findings, new approaches to research, new ideas in education, management, or service delivery. But it's always with the emphasis on application. The final distinguished award I would like to talk about is the Rhoda Jennings Distinguished Older Advocate Award. Several years ago, the Senior Advocate Award was renamed for Rhoda Jennings, a longtime SGS member and extraordinary advocate for older adults. Rhoda was the first recipient of the Older Advocate Award in 1987. The SGS Rhoda Jennings Distinguished Older Advocate Award is given to recognize an older person whose life work did not end at the age of 65, but has been devoted to community or legislative advocacy since they reached retirement age. These are pictures of our winners from 2018. The 2018 Applied Gerontologist Award winner was Dr. Sudha Srinivas, and I spoke with her about what it meant to be an award winner. She was very humbled and honored to have received the SGS Applied Gerontology Award in 2018. She felt it was very affirming validation of the community-engaged research and practice her teams in North Carolina had been doing for some years, and so she wanted to acknowledge all their efforts in receiving this award. Dr. Srinivas stated, and I quote, "It was personally very satisfying to be recognized by my peers who are themselves doing such interesting and important work. I may also derive personal benefits from receiving this award. I have been part of the SGS community for several years now, and it's the best professional community for me in terms of scale and scope."
So I have the pleasure of sharing with you some information about two different awards that go to a program or an agency for their work, and specifically for their work in the community. The Best Practices Award is intended to recognize programs, organizations, or aging services that engage in innovative and collaborative approaches intended to improve services and the quality of life for older adults. You can see an example of one to the right that recognizes the Williamsburg Memory Cafe. And this agency, through Riverside Center for Excellence in Aging, that partially sponsors the Memory Cafe, was present at the conference this past spring to be able to receive the 2018 Best Practices Award. This was one of my colleagues, Denise Butler, who has been instrumental in moving the Williamsburg Memory Cafe from one cafe held once a month to now a second one and soon to be a third one in the region where we are here in Virginia. And Denise has shared with me how meaningful it was to be recognized. She is one who is happy to do things in the background. But to really have her and her program and her partners who were involved in the program that represent our Area Agency on Aging and the Alzheimer's Association also be recognized and share this award. So again, this award does not necessarily identify or name an individual, but is naming and honoring a program or practice that has been widely disseminated and had great impact in the community. But we usually then invite some of those individuals associated with that program or practice to receive the award on behalf of that program. The second award is the Media Award. And the focus here is in an outstanding media outlet. And to give you a few examples, this could be such as the documentary that you see the example of to the right, the CARE documentary, which we highlighted at our most recent conference. So it could be a documentary, it could be another movie, it could be a briefer video, it could be a newsletter. And in fact, the Virginia Center on Aging Age in Action newsletter has been the recipient of the Media Award on more than one occasion because of the wide outreach that they have. I believe there are more than 5,000 individuals around the country, but predominantly in Virginia, that receive access to this newsletter that really does describe what's going on in the Commonwealth of Virginia related to caring for older adults and their caregivers. And so they were fortunate to receive this on more than one occasion, and we're certainly worthy of that. So I've been pleased to share with you a little bit more about the Best Practices Award and the Media Award.
And I'm happy, excuse me, to introduce these student awards that are available to students who have wonderful work to share with SGS. The first award is the Student Paper Award. This is awarded to 3 students, so it's first, second, or third place. And the committee reviews the paper that you submit and gives you the award at the conference. The participants should be prepared to present their paper at the conference as well. So when you're creating your submission, just think ahead, not just the submission, but the paper presentation as well. The second award available to students is the Student Poster Award. So this is slightly different. You don't need to have a full paper, but your research ideas or application of your research needs to be presented in a poster format. And again, there are possible of 3 recipients of this award, first, second, and third. And I should say also that both the student paper and the student poster, there's a cash award as well. So it's not just recognition, there's also a little bit of money involved, which is super helpful to students trying to negotiate costs of any conference. So the poster award, again, is judged at SGS at the annual conference, and the award is given at the conference as well. The last award that students can apply for is the SGS Student Scholarship Award. Students who have been accepted to present either a paper or a poster at the annual conference are highly encouraged to apply. It really doesn't take very much time to apply and defray the costs of conference registration. Now, you would have to pay for the conference up front, and you would be reimbursed if you are awarded this this honor to be the recipient of the scholarship award. But for all 3, when I was a student, I applied for them, and it really doesn't take very much time to fill out the application and in some cases get a reference letter. And I was last year, 2018, recipient of the Student Paper Award. I was second place. So in addition to the recognition of my research, I also received a check from SGS a little bit later, and it was just a nice thing to recognize all my hard work. So I highly encourage students, if you don't apply, it's a 0 chance of winning. But if you do apply, at least you have a chance of getting recognized for all your hard work and, just a little bit of change in your pocket.
Okay, thank you. I'm just going to overview quickly our Encore Award. This is a new award for 2019. This will help older adults wishing to attend SGS to offset travel costs associated with attending. The requirements for this particular award are fairly easy. One must have had an Encore membership with SGS for a minimum of 5 years. That's not it's cumulative, sorry, not linear. And the purpose of the scholarship obviously is to assist with defraying expenses. Again, the application form is available at the SGS Awards website.
So it's my honor, this is Jen Kraft Morgan again, to talk about the Victor W. Marshall Fellowship in Applied Gerontology. This designation by the SGS as a Victor W. Marshall Fellow in Applied Gerontology is an acknowledgement of outstanding and continuing achievement that bridges the domains of original and applied research, service to government, practice with older adults, gerontology education, and advocacy within gerontology. And this designation, unlike some of our other awards, is meant to be a fellowship designation. So there'll be a larger class of fellows. We're not sure exactly how many in any given year. It will depend on the nominations. But the idea would be that if you can demonstrate excellence in 2 of the following areas that I just listed and that are on the screen, then you could be part of this Society of Fellows and bring that recognition back to your organization. So this is meant to be good for a diverse demographic and professional background. So inductees to this fellowship will be practitioners, there'll be advocates, there'll be academics, there'll be all different kinds of SGS members. And the idea is to honor somebody who has achieved excellence, whether it's in early or mid-career, but that it's distinguished from the Gretz Hall of Fame in that we're not thinking about legacies and honoring only a few people, but really honoring the great work that comes out of SGS members and sharing that distinction with more people who can be upcoming leaders in SGS. So it's really important this year for us to nominate, and I'm sure every year after this, to nominate your colleagues that you feel deserving of this fellowship. And we're really excited to be able to designate the inaugural class at the 2019 annual meeting.
All right, that covers all of our current awards, scholarships, and competitive awards. I just wanted to quickly recap the general criteria for our awards. Obviously, each award has its own distinctions, nomination requirements, and application forms, so please be sure to read the award criteria carefully before applying. Again, the reference back to where you can learn more about each of these awards is here at this link on southerngerontologicalsociety.org's website. The deadline for nomination and application does vary each year, but typically ends in mid-February. And that helps us get award status out to those people who have applied and helps us to plan for our award ceremony. In almost all cases, one letter of support must accompany the following award nominations, and those are listed there for you. There's only a few that don't require that letter of support. So please know that that letter of support can come from a colleague, an academic advisor. There's no stipulations on who the letter has to be written by, but someone who can speak to reasoning and rationale as to why an award might be deemed worthy. And then awardees, of course, with the exception of few, must be members of SGS. And the exception would be those nominated for the Rhoda Jennings Older Advocate Award, the Media Award, the Best Practices Award, and the Gretz Award. We're going to move into some frequently asked questions. Dr. Lavana Trawick is going to help us with this process, and we'll open this up to anyone else who may have additional questions after we've covered the basics.
And the basics are the questions that you can see on your screen. These are the frequently asked questions that the awards committee receives. So when you are notified of an award, it varies depending upon the award. The scholarship award winners are notified in advance. But in regards to the other awards, sometimes it depends upon the category. For example, the Best Practices Award is for an organization or for a program or aging service that's not necessarily an individual. And so we like to let the Best Practice Awards nominations or award winners know that they have won, so that someone would be there in order to receive the award on behalf of the organization, program, or aging service. Then other times we like the award winners to be a surprise, so it does vary. In regards to the student paper and poster awards, they are always announced at the conference because the posters are not judged until then, and the paper presenters, we'd like to go and hear them present as well. In what you receive as an award winner, the student and older adult scholarships, the student poster and paper winners, they all receive a certificate and a check at the conference awards luncheon. This is the cash that was mentioned earlier. The distinguished awardee recipients, They receive the recognition of their peers. They also receive a conference registration for the following annual conference, along with a lovely plaque. Another question we often hear is, can more than one person win the same award? For the student poster and paper awards, just as a recap, they generally are awarded first, second, and third place. The Distinguished Awardee Awards are typically for sole recipients each year. However, in rare occasions, when there are two highly qualified nominations, exceptions are made, and we will have two winners per category, but this is rare. Now, if you are a travel scholarship winner, do you need to register for the conference and arrange your own hotel and hotel travel and book your hotel? The answer is yes. So you have to make your own travel arrangements for the conference, and then you receive the award check as just mentioned. Your nomination does matter. All nominations matter. It is the merits of the person the project nominated that determines the winner. So a student's nomination of a professor is taken just as seriously as a distinguished colleague nominating someone. And always you can self-nominate. Unfortunately, not everyone knows what every SGS member does in their own home states. And so if you are doing something extraordinary, please, please self-nominate. This is an opportunity to let your work be known throughout the organization.
On behalf of myself and the SGS Awards Committee, we'd like to also extend this time as an invitation for anyone who'd be interested in participating in the SGS Awards Committee process. This is a committee that is exceptionally important and highly valued in their contributions to helping us as a Southern Gerontological Society recognize exceptional works in the field of gerontology and amongst our peers. This slide gives you information about how to access additional opportunities within this committee and gives the SGS Executive Director contact, email, and phone number here for reference purposes. I'd like to conclude this webinar by thanking all of our esteemed guests, and we always offer our assistance in helping with the nomination process. Thank you all for joining us today.